Good morning, friends. This is Jim Hoffman, pastor at St. John's United Methodist Church. It's Monday, it's Memorial Day, and I'm a little early this morning. It's about 9:22 or so. I'm going to record this and post this for you to be able to watch as you want to today, for those of you that are part of our community that are ones who are regulars to our daily devotions. But I'm going to be going down to my dad's, and he and I are going to go out and visit my mom and my grandparents and my great-grandparents' grave sites for a few minutes, and then I'll be coming back from Butler, and I probably will be traveling about the time that I would normally do this devotion. So I thought I would go ahead and do this early. If you are on Facebook and you want to join real quick, please feel free to do so. If you watch this later on, leave a comment and let me know that you were here today. I would appreciate you doing that. I'm not going to wait very long for us, for folks, so we'll get started here pretty quickly. I will say good morning to Chris. I see that he is here. Colonel, thank you very much for your service. Barbara, great to see you this morning as well if you're with Chris. Our devotion reading comes out of Mark chapter 13, verses 28 to 31. Mark 13, 28 to 31. Here is our prayer for today. O God, by your spoken word, you created everything that is. By your incarnate word, you redeemed us. By your comforting word, you are with us still. Prepare us now to hear your word to us this day. Amen. Mark chapter 13, verses 28 to 31. Now learn a lesson from the fig tree. When its branches bud and its leaves begin to sprout, you know that summer is near. In the same way, when you see all these things taking place, you can know that his return is very near, right at the door. I tell you the truth, this generation will not pass from the scene before all these things take place. Heaven and earth will disappear, but my words will never disappear. Our devotion writer today is David Armstrong, and David is from Mississippi. His focus words are verse 33, where Jesus said, "My words will never pass away." And here is David's devotion that he offers for us today. He says, I've been reading The Upper Room on a daily basis for over 35 years. And it used to sadden me when I noticed an asterisk next to a writer's name. This symbol, as explained at the bottom of the page, signifies that the author passed away before publication of this issue. What a shame, I used to think to myself. That writer never got to see her devotional or his devotional in print. I don't feel this way anymore. Rather, I thank every writer daily, even those who have passed on, for what they have shared with the world. I've come to realize that what we say, do, write, and share in love with others lives on forever, even after we pass from this life to the next. Jesus said, "Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away." How comforting it is to know, and what a blessing it is to believe that all our good thoughts, words, and deeds live on, just like the words of Jesus do. So the thought for the day is, the love I share in the name of Christ lives forever. You know, on this Memorial Day, we take an opportunity to pause, particularly to thank those who served in our American military. There's many members of St. John's who, along with myself, have had the opportunity to serve our country through that. And we also have others who have served in other capacities, first responders, police, fire. My neighbor across the street, Stephen, is a fireman. So we take an opportunity to pause and we thank them for their service. And we want to take an opportunity to remember them and be reminded of their legacy and what they provide for us. We think also about those in our lives who have had a meaningful presence. And meaningful can be both positive and negative, right? There are some of us who had someone in our lives who had a very meaningful presence that was negative. And that negative interaction, that negative encounter influenced in such a way that we begin to emulate and even do some of the things that we thought we would never do and swore we would never do, but because they're so ingrained in us in that negative way, we continue to live into that legacy in some ways. That person could be gone, long gone, dead and long gone, and they still, their words ring in your head and they influence you, and they still have that kind of negative impact. There's, on the flip side of that, those in your life who maybe have had a really positive impact on your life. And so their words still resonate in your heart and in your mind. You hear their words of grace and of love. You hear their words of faith, and you are recalling them each and every day, and they influence who you are. And they have a profound impact on you. When I think of who I want to ultimately be, I don't want to be someone who's remembered for my negative impact on the relationship. I hope to be remembered for someone who speaks words of life and truth and hope and grace and love and forgiveness. I hope that in my older age, now that I'm over 60 and can buy a senior citizen's ticket at the movie theater, I hope that that some of my words are a little wiser than what they might have been when I was 20 and 30. And that my presence is one that's a little more graceful and a little more measured than it might have been when I was in my 20s and my 30s. And that the words that I say and communicate and the actions that come behind that they might be words and actions that persevere long after my presence on this earth. And so my prayer today is that I might be able to share my life in a meaningful way, in a way in which maybe my words will live on beyond me and my deeds will live beyond me, and that they will have a positive impact on the community that is my family, the community that is the churches that I've had an opportunity to be a part of and to serve, and even those beyond that may never be a part of my church, but were my neighbors, young people that I had a chance to interact with when they got married, families who didn't have a church but needed someone to be there for a funeral. I hope in many ways my legacy lives on. How about you? When you think about your own interactions and your own presence, who was most influential in your life? How are they a positive influence on you, or are you living into that kind of negative influence? And who do you choose to be today and each day going forward? What kind of presence do you want to be in their lives, the lives of your family and your friends and your neighbors and your community? So I hope that you'll pick the opportunity to be a positive influence, to have a positive, meaningful presence in the lives of those that are around you, so that the words of Christ may live through you and beyond through you, and so that they may never pass away in the world around us. Let's take a moment to pause and pray, friends. God of forever, thank you for allowing our good deeds, thoughts, and words to continue to bless others, even after our lives on earth have ended. Amen. Well, friends, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you have a wonderful time, maybe with some family and some friends today on this Memorial Day. I appreciate you coming and spending a few moments in devotion with me. Your faithfulness is always a blessing to me. Barbara, great to see you this morning, by the way. Barbara Paddock, glad you were here as well. I hope all of you have, as I said, a blessed day, a safe day, and I'll look forward to being back with you tomorrow for our devotion time. Thanks, friends.